Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over a poll released by the PPP Public Policy Polling out of the state of Wisconsin that shows Democratic incumbent Governor Tony Evers leading a generic Republican 45-44. Now, in my opinion, I don't think this is necessarily the best news considering generic Republican is like a very, very broad term. We don't know who the Republican candidate's going to be. I did a video about former RNC Chair Reince Preibus considering a run for governor, and if that end up being what happens, where Reince Preibus does decide to run, then the polling results will be very, very interesting because if that's the case, Evers only starts out as a 1-point favorite over a generic Republican. So, what if I'm Tony Evers? I would be a little worried I'm only up 1% over a generic Republican, but what really worries me is the 45%. Because Wisconsin, if you've noticed Wisconsin's polling trends, Wisconsin often overvalues Democrats, or at the very least undervalues Republicans in its polling. It undervalued President Trump in 2020 and in 2016, and it actually, while the Democrats still won in 2018, it actually did underpoll the Republicans by a few points in the 2018 Senate races as well. So Wisconsin has been known to underpoll Republicans. And the incumbent governor, Tony Evers, who won very, very close last time against Scott Walker, Tony Evers is only up 45-44. And if the Republicans are able to get a candidate with a lot of name recognition statewide, like Reince Preibus, who is President Trump's chief of staff and the chairman for the RNC, so a lot of people are probably going to hear his name and be like, that does sound familiar. And Tony Evers, I think, should be a little worried if he's only polling at 45% against a generic Republican. Now, the benefit for Tony Evers is, don't forget, the election is still not for a decent while away, and there's still plenty of time to rebound on this. But there's also a contingent in the poll that might help Governor Evers in this endeavor. So, do you trust Governor Evers or the GOP state legislature to handle the COVID pandemic? 51% said Governor Evers, 38% said the Republicans. So while Tony Evers is only winning in the poll 45-44, a very, very narrow majority of the state would rather have him handle the pandemic than the Republicans in the state legislature. So while it's a very narrow majority, Governor Evers still has a majority of the people's trust in handling the COVID pandemic over the state legislature anyway. So that is a potential building block for Governor Evers to go off on. However, the fact that he's only leading 45-44 would still have me be a little concerned for him if he thinks he's not necessarily in the strongest position for re-election at 45%. If we see another poll come out, because again, this is public policy polling, this typically, Wisconsin favors Democrats in polls, and public policy polling favors Democrats as well. If we start seeing a few polls come out that show the Republicans already leading for governor, that's not good for Governor Evers. But if we see a poll that comes out that Governor Evers is up by like 7 or 8% or something, then that would be very good news for him. That means he's rebounded, and that it's probably closer than that, but at least Governor Evers still has a lead. So bottom line, Governor Evers leads by 1%, 45-44. Although he does have a narrow majority of the people's trust on handling the COVID pandemic, he is still only narrowly up 1% over a generic Republican rival in 2022. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you get updated whenever I post a new one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.